You guys. The fallout from something that recently exploded on the internet is chaotic. Cardi B appeared to have been suppressing her rage for days when she went live a few minutes ago. There was quiet, no music, no filter, no jokes, and thousands of viewers were joining the stream every second. Music, she then uttered the words that stopped the conversation. I didn't say anything for long enough. Music, the truth is being revealed tonight. That late-night live became a digital crime scene as a result of what transpired. Cardi claims that after receiving a private DNA document that purports to reveal a startling secret, a hidden child purportedly connected to Young Miami, weeks of suspicion around Stefon music digs abruptly erupted. Music, the comment section went crazy when Cardi brought that paper up to the camera. Music fans began entering in capital letters. Screenshots began to flow. View counts continued to rise as if a celebrity meltdown was happening in real time on the internet. As she discussed betrayal, trust, and how this circumstance purportedly validated the worry she had been ignoring for weeks, Cardi's voice broke. However, the accusation of a secret baby wasn't the only shocking revelation. That was Cardi's next pledge. She sobbed as she cautioned Music that this would not remain on social media if the accusations were validated. She declared that she is prepared to take the whole matter to court and Music reveal all she feels has been concealed behind industry games, money, and celebrity. These days, theories, responses, and receipts abound on the internet. Because this might become one of the most chaotic celebrity scandals of the year if even a portion of the narrative turns out to be true. You're at a football game, female. Laughing about me, girl. Consider yourself. Screaming, I'm only stating that you've been questioning me for an hour. Now is your moment. Good at that game, girl. Are you dating laughter? That whole life. Laughing, don't pretend to be like us. Laughing make you angry. Man, oh my god. I just woke it up. Laughing, the alert came in softly. There was only a straightforward notification that Cardi B had gone live, no announcement, music, or warning. Thousands of people poured into the stream in a matter of seconds. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary at first. The camera trembled a little, as though someone had quickly grabbed the phone. It was dimly lit. There was silence in the room behind her. However, there was an immediate difference in Cardi's expression. Instead of the lighthearted, sardonic expression Cardi's followers were accustomed to seeing online, her face was tight. This person appeared to have been holding something inside and was on the verge of letting it blow up. It was nearly impossible to read the comment area because it moved so quickly. What happened, Cardi? Why do you appear angry? Who are you referring to? Music. Cardi remained silent for a few long seconds. She simply gazed into the camera as if she were debating whether to cross a boundary from which she would never be able to return. When she finally leaned forward, the energy of the entire live stream was instantly altered by what she said next. I'm done keeping quiet. The comment became slower. Viewers realized a big development was imminent. Music. Cardi inhaled, her voice tight with annoyance. She claimed that there had been a lot of uncertainty over the past few weeks. Music. She had a hunch that something wasn't quite right in her connection with Stefon Diggs. Some things, she said, didn't make sense. Unanswered calls. Tales that were inconsistent. Instances that made her feel as though there were gaps in the puzzle. Music. She initially claimed to have disregarded it. She informed the audience that she didn't want to think the worst about Music, but then, according to Cardi, something fell into her hands that she was unable to ignore any longer. At that point, the live feed changed from being emotional to being explosive. Cardi grabbed a piece of paper by reaching away from the camera. At first, she didn't make it obvious. Rather, she kept it close to her chest as she detailed how, earlier in the day, she had supposedly received what Music called a confidential DNA report. She says a paper made all the difference. Speculation erupted in the chat right away. Music theories started to be typed more quickly than anyone could read them. A few viewers thought it was a hoax. Others began repeatedly posing the same query. For whom is the DNA report intended? Before dropping the next lyric, Cardi Music hesitated for a little period, almost as if she was preparing herself. Then she mentioned the names that caused a frenzy on social media. Cardi claimed during the live stream that the paper implied Stefon Diggs might be related to a child she thought was connected to Young Miami. Offset, who was 8 months pregnant, phoned her and texted her about some dog __ named Stefon Diggs, some music, some football player __. Ironically, every time your female wants to get her lick back, she goes to the what? Heated everyone's hoe in the game. Rap. What does that represent? Cardi B is that. Online, there was an instant response. The number of views surged. Real-time footage from the live stream started circulating on Twitter and TikTok. Every second, people were filming their screens. Cardi's voice started to tremble as she described how this scenario had been on the back of her mind for weeks. Music, but she never imagined that she would see something that seemed to validate it. "Now I know I wasn't crazy," she remarked as the feed was going on. Her voice sounded pained, not just angry. The music moment was eerily familiar to many spectators, because Cardi had previously discussed betrayal in public. Millions of fans witnessed the emotional repercussions and cheating rumors that surrounded her well-publicized relationship with Offset years prior. Music Cardi made a passing allusion to that past throughout the live stream. She told the audience that she had made a self-promise to Music that she would not remain silent if she ever experienced such betrayal. And that moment was tonight, she said. Cardi Music eventually raised the paper toward the camera while the live stream went on. The gesture alone sent shockwaves over the internet, even though she didn't hold it long enough for viewers to decipher the specifics. Music. Screenshots of the event took over social media in a matter of minutes. Commentators started arguing over the authenticity of the document. Cardi's words were analyzed by fans. Even though Cardi phrased her assertions as accusations she thought were real and frequently presented the scenario as something she had just learned, the internet was already exploding with interpretations. The live stream's tone then changed once more. Cardi made a pretty clear statement. She stated that she had no intention of continuing the struggle online if what she believes is accurate. Music, she expressed her obvious annoyance and threatened to file a lawsuit if needed. Her message was straightforward. "We will deal with it in court if someone played with me or lied to me about Music." Another round of online reactions was sparked by that one sentence. In the midst of it all, there were legal threats, celebrity drama, potential DNA proof, and 2 very well-known music names. Millions of others had either seen the live stream or were catching up through republished clips that were circulating Music online by the time it reached its music closing minutes. However, the fact that neither Young Miami nor Stefon Diggs had yet to react intensified the situation. Music, just silence, no claims, no refutations, no justifications. Silence can also be the loudest thing on the internet, because a story like this rarely ends with a single live feed of music. The internet went into overdrive minutes after the live stream ended. Videos of Cardi B displaying that purported paper were already making the rounds on YouTube Music, X, and TikTok. In a matter of seconds, several films received thousands of views. Before the hour was even up, others were reaching the hundreds of thousands. Cardi's use of Young Miami and Stefon Diggs in the same phrase caused the internet to react as it always does, even though the live stream had only lasted a brief music period. It began to dig. In an attempt to focus in on the paper Cardi momentarily held up to the camera, fan accounts started replaying the live video frame by frame. Music, some said they could see signatures or numbers. Some claimed the document was too hazy to verify anything, yet rumors were already circulating more quickly than actual information. Hashtags related to the purported circumstance started to trend within the first hour. The live stream wasn't the only topic of conversation. They were traveling back in time. Anything that could link the 3 names that were suddenly dominating social media conversations, including old images, old interviews, old party videos, and music. A video of Young Miami and Stefon Diggs at the same industry gathering months prior began making the rounds. Even though the video was brief, just a few seconds of music, people nonetheless used it as proof. The video was slowed down by online investigators. They enlarged the image. They discussed body language as if it were a component of a criminal inquiry. In the meantime, Cardi's fans were bombarding comment sections with messages urging Music to reveal everything. Others cautioned fans against making snap judgments until more details became available. However, it is rare to wait for proof in the realm of celebrity music rumors. Rather, theories proliferate. Cardi was allegedly hinting at relationship issues long before the live stream, according to several spectators. They cited cryptic tweets about loyalty, trust, and people keeping things hidden that she had put music weeks prior. Those posts hardly made music headlines at the time. Suddenly, they were being construed as hints. Subsequently, an additional layer of conjecture began to develop. Music because people started posing a separate music inquiry if Cardi's claims regarding a secret child were accurate. For what length of time had the situation been concealed? The timing of the purported DNA music report appeared suspiciously specific, according to some online commenters. They questioned whether it had been kept a secret until lately or whether someone had purposefully leaked it to Cardi. However, none of those assertions were supported by music at this point. They were merely parts of a puzzle that social media was attempting to put together in real time. The silence was the most stunning aspect of the scenario, even if the internet was ablaze with speculations. Music Young Miami and Stefon Diggs had not publicly responded to the allegations. There are no posts, comments, or remarks refuting the accusations. Furthermore, in today's world of celebrities, silence might occasionally spark more rumors than an answer. Music fans kept refreshing their feeds in anticipation of anything from either side, but nothing materialized. In the meantime, the live feed of music was becoming viral. Videos with dramatic captions were shared by major gossip pages. Reaction music videos started to show up on YouTube. Cardi's tone was being analyzed by some creators to see if she sounded angry, devastated, or both. Others concentrated on the legal threat Cardi made during the stream because she made a statement that attracted attention from people other than music fans. She brought up the prospect of going to court. And if that did occur, the narrative might transition from online drama to a court case that would reveal considerably more information than a live stream could. But for the time being, everything was in an odd state of limbo. Millions of people responded to an explosive accusation, a live stream went viral, and two of the major players said nothing at all. However, if there was one thing that seasoned watchers of celebrity scandals knew, it was that these kinds of moments are rarely the end of the narrative. Usually, they're the start. Because pressure begins to build behind the scenes as soon as a claim of this magnitude enters the public discourse. Friends begin to inquire. Supervisors begin phoning. Attorneys begin to pay attention. Eventually, someone breaks their quiet in the midst of that chaos. Who will talk first was the only thing left to decide. Music. How would Stefon Diggs react to the allegations? Would Young Miami respond to the reports that connected her to the purported child? Or would Cardi come back with even more receipts that may escalate the matter beyond conjecture? Already, one thing was evident. A door had been opened by the live stream. And once the realm of celebrity drama opens a door like that, seldom does it shut silently. The folks at the center of the storm remained silent for several hours after the live stream finished, but the internet continued to be boisterous. Cardi B was a popular name on various platforms. Thousands of people had already published music clips from the live feed, each with dramatic captions and predictions about what would happen next. However, the most important question that hung over everything music was left unaddressed. Stefon Diggs was where? And if the rumors got worse, what would Young Miami say? As of right now, neither of their social media profiles has altered music. There were no words, no answers, just silence. And the online hysteria was only heightened by that silence. Fans started keeping an eye on every hint late into the night music. Every music few minutes, some users updated Diggs' Instagram profile in the hopes of seeing a response. Others searched Young Miami's most recent posts for cryptic answers or hidden meanings, but nothing showed up. Due to the lack of response, two distinct online camps were formed. One group thought that the silence indicated that the accusations were untrue and that things would soon settle down. They said that music reacting too fast may worsen the situation, but another group disagreed. The silence seemed strange to them. Music. They believed that the longer the names of those involved remained silent, the more people thought there could be something to conceal. Music. In the meantime, gossip blogs and commentary networks were putting in extra hours. Similar to investigators examining a confession recording, several creators examined Cardi's live stream. They disputed whether she sounded more angry music or sorrowful, slowed down her speech, and analyzed her tone. The instant she raised the purported DNA document, it caught the attention of others. Numerous viral posts included that one image as their focal point. According to several stories, they were able to discern official formatting, like laboratory reports, when they zoomed in on the page. Others argued that there was insufficient clarity on the screen to verify any information. However, as rumors can circulate more quickly than facts in the realm of celebrity drama, the theories persisted. Fans began asking each other a new question as music continued the evening. Why would Cardi music post evidence of betrayal on Instagram live rather than discussing it in private if she really thought she had it? Some observers thought the live stream was emotional, an impromptu response from someone who had just learned something startling. Others thought it might have been a calculated move because the story becomes unavoidable once accusations are made in front of millions of people. And that is precisely what took place. Music the live feed was covered by entertainment blogs in a matter of hours. Cardi's allegations, her legal music threat, and the purported relationship between Stefon Diggs and Young Miami dominated headlines. However, even those publications reiterated the same important information. Music the accusations had not been verified. During the live webcast, Cardi's words remained the basis for everything. However, those close to the scenario were apparently frantically trying to make sense of what had just transpired behind the scenes. Lawyers, publicists, and managers. Music every time a celebrity dispute erupts on the internet, a whole group of people gets to work controlling the story right away. However, once millions of people have witnessed the initial moment, it becomes challenging to maintain control over a narrative. Because first impressions propagate the fastest, regardless of subsequent assertions. And that was a strong first impression. A tearful Cardi B, a startling allegation of a secret child, a purported DNA document momentarily displayed on camera, and a hint that legal action might be on the horizon. The late night live webcast had turned into a major celebrity controversy by the early hours of the morning. It was being discussed by radio hosts. Music podcast segments were dissecting it. On YouTube, reaction videos kept piling up. However, one important component of the puzzle, music, had not changed in spite of the commotion. The other two names involved remained silent. The music narrative may change dramatically if Stefon Diggs chooses to make a public response. The accusations could be refuted with a denial. Evidence may change the story music, or the answer may lead to further inquiries. Young Miami had the same opportunity. One statement, one music comment, and one post. That would be all it would take to change the course of the entire discussion. However, music on the internet remains stuck in speculative mode until that point, watching, waiting, and refreshing. Because history demonstrates that celebrity controversies rarely end overnight when they begin like this. The initial explosion is frequently just the start. Additionally, new material is typically getting ready to come to light someplace behind the scenes. The live music dream that stunned millions may turn out to be just the beginning of a much larger tale if it occurs here. Music the live feed abruptly ceased. However, the chaos it caused is only becoming more intense. Now, millions of people have witnessed Cardi B's transformation from quiet to fury, accusing Stefon Diggs of concealing something so combustible that it could instantly destroy reputations. Music fans are zooming in on the purported DNA paper she flashed on camera, analysts are disputing every frame, and gossip pages are racing to promote their own hypotheses, making it one of the most scrutinized photos on the internet. This is where the narrative becomes even riskier, though. Because the two other names involved in this tempest are virtually silent while the internet continues to chatter. Diggs and Young Miami have not responded directly to the claim that is currently dominating time.